and how all versions stack up. Now, as noted, the last gen versions target the same 30 FPS the ray trace mode does, but with lesser effects and no ray tracing. The new ray tracing mode on both consoles is vastly better and cleaner, if not that much better on input times, but holding that 33 millisecond frame time pretty much all the time on the PS5, and it does that most of the time on the Series X. Except there are those deltas coming from those streaming stutters when you move into new sector points rather than in gameplay, although sometimes it can happen as you're moving around the combat area. Now, this is obviously largely helped by the PS5's I/O construction. It's alleviated workloads away from the CPU and that SSD. Something else the PS5 boosts is almost half the install size thanks to Oodle texture compression. It only takes 25 gigabytes on your PS5 versus 42 gigabytes on both Xbox machines. Now, all versions include the DLC pack as well, and this translates to a smaller footprint, hardly any stutters at all, or practically none, with minor ones, but they can crop up more often than I would like on the Xbox, along with slightly faster loading times on the Xbox Series X. Again, minor, but every little helps. But as boring as that 30 FPS mode is from an analysis perspective, it's great news for us as we play. You do get these stutters in the 30 mode and the 60 mode on the Series X, and I'll touch on what I think is happening there in a minute. But the 60 FPS mode has slightly more to discuss, not least of which is that Series S version. The game itself targets 60 FPS, but again it's locked at 1600 by 900, and it does appear to have some reductions in some of the textures and details and filtering. Not a massive amount, but you can certainly notice it on cutscenes and certain parts when you're comparing them side by side. You can also notice the lower resolution, so it highlights the shimmer, the breakup, and that stochastic noise can get a little bit noisy at certain points, specifically at that lower resolution. On a 4K screen it stands out much more than a 1080p one, but just be aware. But generally it holds on to that 60 FPS very, very well. You can run through areas, and occasionally the stuttering is pretty much identical to the Series X, sometimes worse, sometimes better, but it's really synonymous of the entire game engine running on the hardware and how it's been constructed. The Series S is a pretty consistent 60. There are points when you can have long views, lots of geometry draw and alpha effects that can then bring that frame rate down to a consistent 40 at some of the heavier points you can see on screen, but it never really prolongs for too long, and generally you're somewhere in those mid 50s, so it still feels very fast, very smooth and very consistent. And overall it's a decent rendition of the game minus those ray trace options, but it still has that most important for me, that 60 FPS mode.
Hello, live show because, well, so yeah, we're gonna watch this live commentary because it's in 4 minutes under like 5. So, if you guys like the video, please like and subscribe the show, and I'm enjoying
Into the series. They're not that far apart in this full rasterized mode. Maybe ever so slightly better to the Series X, but you wouldn't notice it outside this comparison. The unfortunate thing, flipping the ray tracing test on its head, is there is consistent stutters and jitters at points throughout the game. Again, consistent in when you traverse the game, when you run through it. Most of the combat sections, once they're loaded in, stay consistent at that 60 FPS. When you're travelling through areas, you can get these stutters you can see here, and that can bring the frame rate down to somewhere into the low 40s. It can be very brief and it jitters as it goes through those sections, and again, this can be frustrating at times if you sometimes get it compounded on top of each other, and you feel it far more often than these 1 or 2 frame drops throughout combat. So it is the worst performing title because of the fact it dips down on these levels, which is a shame. But why is it doing this? Now, it's not because of that magic SSD, it's not because of all those things that I just spoke about in terms of the I/O construction specifically. Now, what I think it is an answer we can find over on the PC version. The Northlight engine is a very impressive engine. It's almost a perfect technical showcase of all the things the tech engineers want to push into a title. Ray trace reflections, huge physics, destruction, fluid-based simulation on alpha effects, so many particles and much more going on. that actually it's still a CPU-bound title often, specifically in those ray tracing modes, because that puts a much higher overhead on the CPU, but also in the game itself, it can be bound to one single thread. Not unknown, many titles are multi-threaded, but you have a worker thread that owns the rest of the game engine. And here on PC, you can see on my Ryzen 2700, just defaulting here to 3300, you can see it can max out 100% at times on one single thread. Now, unless Remedy had made drastic changes to this construction and single-threaded limitation, which I highly doubt in the new Northlight release here, then it's probably an issue that carries over to the console versions. But because of that PS5's construction and the fact that pretty much everything to do with moving data in and out of a load of RAM is actually taken away from the CPU, in addition to the API being slightly lighter on that console than the DirectX version on Xbox, then likely these issues are not hitting it where they are hitting it on the Series X and the Series S. Hence, we get these brief but occasional stutters that crop up when things are instantiated into RAM, objects are drawn in, areas are closed off for kill rooms, and that's a standard practice of engines to keep data moving freely in and out of RAM, and there is a cost to that. Now bear in mind that when you use ray tracing, that also increases the cost of the CPU. So that BVH grid, that construction of objects that are in different boxes that are then scanned when the ray tracing goes out from the screen, all of this has a factor on the game. So if we take the comparison earlier on the photo mode, that had no load on the game at all, just general ray tracing and rasterization loads, perfect GPU test. And this is the thing about the game, it's a great example of how these two consoles actually differ and strengthen in different areas. You can lose 16, maybe 20% in ray trace mode on the PS5, but you can lose exactly the same 16-20% in these points where it's loading data in and out in combat. And it's quite refreshing to see a game that enables us to get a good view into the hardware and how it's constructed. But generally, that 60 FPS mode on all consoles is the one that I would choose. I'm not a big fan of the art style, I think it's a bit dull, I don't think it utilises the ray trace reflections very well, and it's one of the reasons why I wouldn't recommend the ray trace reflections for me, because I don't think they stand out unless you're staring into the screen and looking at them. But if you are a fan, I think there's a secret third option here for Remedy to just turn on. Based on our tests previously between the consoles and PC, I think a 1080-60 mode would be perfectly capable on both machines, with likely a very similar performance metric to that rasterization mode. But if you want to run around, shoot things, pick objects up and then check your lippy, it might be the perfect compromise to get the most out of Control. If you like this and these deep dives into these performance analysis across consoles and that powerful PC, then obviously keep it IGN, and I'll catch you on the next one.
In 3 seconds, it's starting.
There's some very unexpected developments in your future. Shocking events that will change the course of your life!
That last part might have been a hair dramatic, but there's lots of awesome updates and additions coming to the Crash Bandicoot 4 It's About Time experience on PlayStation 5. Hey everyone, I'm Luke Studdard, creative producer at Toys for Bob. I'm here to give you the feature rundown on Crash Bandicoot 4 on PS5. That includes 4K at 60 frames per second, adaptive triggers, 3D audio, and more.
Let's make this fun.
Picking up where Crash Bandicoot Warp left off, in Crash Bandicoot 4 It's About Time, we find the evil masterminds Neo Cortex and Dr. Entropy escaping a once-thought inescapable interdimensional prison, leaving giant holes in the universe. What follows is a mind-bending adventure for Crash and his marsupial pals. We designed Crash Bandicoot 4 to leap off your screen, brimming with bold, vibrant environments and characters. Crash Bandicoot has always looked pretty suave, but wait till you see the spinning heads in native 4K at 60 frames per second. With the weight of the universe on your shoulders, probably some errands to run, there's little time to wait on loading screens. The DualSense wireless controllers bring adaptive triggers to your fingertips, so you can feel the blast of Neo Cortex's DNA-shooting ray gun, or feel the grip when you grapple a ton's hookshot. Hold on tight when you feel the boost of Crash's jetboard, and really feel the suck as you vacuum his Dingodile. Looking to get fully immersed in the Crash Bandicoot universe? Crank it up to 11 yours to track your progress and hit your goals through things like time trials, flashback levels, and boss fights. I bet entropy wishes he had that. You can bring your incomplete save over from the PlayStation 4 and then use the activity cards to get to 106%. Oh,
one more thing. If you own the PS4 version of the game, an upgrade option
is available. Check out the PlayStation blog for full details. Whether it's your first playthrough or your 100th, there's no better time to experience Crash Bandicoot 4 It's About Time on PlayStation 5.
Welcome back, Crash! The gang's all here on today's new edition of State of Play. We've got some great updates lined up for you. First, let's check out the latest on an eagerly anticipated game coming to the PS5 console this spring from PlayStation Studios.
Hey everyone, we at Housemarque are excited to give you this sneak peek at Returnal. In Returnal, you will play as Celine, an Astra scout, who crash lands on an alien planet, Atropos, after receiving a mysterious signal, White Shadow. Players will explore this inscrutable, dark planet in search for answers and unfold mysteries, which may point to a larger force at play. Dashing and quickly maneuvering your way above and around enemies is key to survival in Returnal. Variety of enemies and the vast number of unique movesets each possess, combat situations prove challenging no matter what the circumstances are. Death is only the beginning.
No.
Every time you die and restart, the world will change. The map will be different, enemies will appear in new locations and in differing numbers, so you have to think fast and adapt. Here you can see the use of the lightning alt-fire, which is great for crowd control. This is one of many alt-fires that you can acquire in the game. You will stumble across mysterious devices that can grant rewards to the player. These will vary from weapons, consumables, and upgrades, and that can completely change your playstyle and make each cycle feel unique.
That's cool.
Besides the intense combat, Returnal also has a deep and engaging narrative. We allow players to piece together the puzzle that is the story of Celine, as they venture deeper and deeper into Atropos and into her personal nightmare.
That can't be here.
I think I am reliving my memories in that house, but not fully. They're corroded. Some parts are missing, others seem manufactured. But I can remember the torment, feeling like I was losing my mind. There's no comfort here. No safe space. Exactly as I left it.
That's nice.
Returnal lands on April 30th, and it's developed by the talented team at Housemarque. Next, let's take a closer look at a high-impact new PS4 game called Knockout City.
Hi, I'm Josh from Bellin Studios.
Okay.
We're an indie developer based in upstate New York, and we recently announced Knockout City, a team-based multiplayer action game for PS4 where rival crews settle their scores with epic dodgeball battles. Knockout City is easy to pick up and play, but there's a lot of depth here for those who've got the skills. In our 1v1 face-off mode, you'll go head-to-head in a constantly shrinking battleground relying on your reflexes and abilities to knock out an opponent. A well-timed catch powers up the ball, making it easier to land a hit. Use trick shots to lob a ball over a ledge or hook it around a to mess up your opponent's timing and knock them out before they can recover.
When you're in a tough spot with a ball flying your way, a last-second dodge is the difference between getting knocked out and staying in the fight.
Keep your wits about you and outplay your opponent to bring home a win. Let's jump into Team KO, our 3v3 mode. Teamwork makes the dream work in Knockout City. If your crew is outmatched, a well-coordinated team can still dominate. We're playing at Back Alley Brawl, a new map that you'll find in our upcoming crossplay beta. The special ball for this match is the Sniper Ball,
which locks onto targets from far across the map and wham! You can take them out before they
have a chance to react. Beyond special balls, each map features a unique mechanic. In Back Alley Brawl, you can hop into a tube and make a quick getaway, or use them to sneak up on your opponents. Caught empty-handed? You can literally become the ball, a new weapon for your teammate. Or risk it all. Charge up a teammate, launch them high into the air with an ultimate throw, and they'll land in a huge instant KO explosion.
The team here at Velen
Has been obsessed with building this world over the last 4 years. Knockout City is coming out May 21st, and we'd love your help in our final stretch of development. Rally your crew and sign up for our crossplay beta at knockouttcity.com to play early. See you soon, brawlers.
Time for something new. Here's your first look at an upcoming PS5 game from the team at Slowclap.
Okay. Oh, whoa! Okay, oh my god. Oh. Okay, Oh, shoot. You put in that work. Okay. Oh, whoa. What the heck? Is it called the medallion? Is it because he's wearing that around his neck? Seafood.
The debut of Seafood coming to the PS5 console later this year.
And PS4, okay.
Now let's get an update on Solar Ash, an epic new PS5 adventure from Art Machine.
Hey everyone, I'm Alex Preston, creative director of Art Machine. You might know us as the team behind Hyperlight Drifter. Today, I'm here to show you the first peek at gameplay for our new title, Solar Ash. Solar Ash is a huge, stylish 3D platformer focused on speed, movement, and fluidity. The game is set inside a giant black hole, known as the Ultravorn, which has been consuming everything in its path. You play as Ray, a daring Void Runner who has decided to venture into this terrifying anomaly as a last-ditch effort to save her homeworld. Ray is extremely agile and can speed across the world with abilities akin to skating. On the ashen clouds, she can quickly cover great distances in our huge world. At its core, Solar Ash is a game about movement, and Ray has everything she needs to flow through the dangerous and unique world. As you journey to save your planet, you'll find yourself face to face with grotesque and violent creatures. Our combat system is simple, fast, and fluid, built to empower players and encourage flow. As you explore the Ultra Void, enemy encounters will scale to greater and greater sizes. Some of these creatures require speed and precise timing to defeat. Ray will eventually need to face the massive sentinels of this void, wretched, starved beasts that hold the key to her quest. Solar Ash is Harsh's vision of the adventure platformer. The giant spaces, the feel of movement, the flow of combat, and the high-stakes battles atop enormous beasts all come together to bring players something we think is incredibly unique, and more importantly, fun. This game is a labor of love for everyone on the Heart Machine team. We're excited to bring Solar Ash to PS5 and PS4 later this year.
Okay. So, my guess is,
If you're a fan of scary games, this next one is for you.
that considering the
When I first found you,
less of a PS5s, they're putting on PS4s.
you were small, pathetic. But now, you want more. Are you ready?
Out of here, you and me together. They must stop hunting you. None of them will stop hunting you.
Pass.
We have to get you out my way.
You will do as I say! You will free me! That's and if you fail me, then you will. Both of you, die!
There's more going on here than you realize.
Dear God.
That was a chilling new look at Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. Security! Up next, let's take a tour of Oddworld Soulstorm.
Soulstorm. I see.
Hi, I'm Warren Lanning, Creative Director at Oddworld Inhabitants. Today I'm going to take you on a brief tour of our newest game, Oddworld Soulstorm.
They've always known you would come. Do you know why you have?
In Soulstorm, you reprise the role of Abe, accidental hero turned unlikely leader of an emerging revolution, as you do battle through weird and wonderful environments in an effort to escape the all-powerful and eternally greedy gluttons. We really wanted to bring this world to life with what we call 2.9D platforming, which adds much more depth and immersion for the player. This sense of connection is also reinforced through the use of the DualSense's haptic feedback, as you'll now be able to feel Abe's heartbeat in high alert and suspenseful situations. There are well over 1,000 fellow Mudokons that you must try to save along the way. But they are far more than helpless workers looking to be saved. When used effectively, you'll be able to solve puzzles, harness their combined energy, and be given the tools they need to fight alongside you. And there will be times when the extra hands will be needed as you face off against an array of heavily armed enemies that will stop at nothing to find and end Abe once and for all. In order to stand a chance against this much larger threat, we gave Abe the ability to scavenge, loot, and pickpocket items from his surroundings and use them to craft an impressive arsenal of his own that he can share with others. You can also play as a non-lethal pacifist or an agent of chaos. We wanted you to have the choice. But there is one iconic ability for our shamanic protagonist, possession. This mystical power allows you to take control of your foes and use their strengths and weapons against them, or use them to gain access to paths still ahead. The Oddworld universe is a diverse place, and this means that there are some environments and situations that require a little more thought, patience, and stealth. You'll find dark and dangerous caves, heavily guarded industrial sites, and ancient forgotten lands. Here we've built lots of opportunities for you to test your skills and find different ways to handle things. It won't be easy. If being hunted by an army backed by a shady and wealthy organization isn't bad enough, there are also more dangers in the forms of natural obstacles, ancient traps, trials against swarming dark creatures, and industrial hazards that must be dodged, crossed, and avoided. Ultimately, Abe's journey is one of hope, freedom, and truth. There's a rich and engaging narrative to discover in a world full of lies, and we've been able to bring our characters to life like never before. In true Oddworld fashion, your actions in-game will decide the fate of Abe and all those you manage to liberate along the way.
And we can't wait to see what you will do.
Interesting.
That was the latest on Oddworld Soulstorm. And here's some exciting news. Active PlayStation Plus members will get the PS5 version for no extra cost, starting in April. Moving on, it's time to catch up with Kena Bridge of Spirits, a gorgeous new adventure we last saw in the June PS5 showcase.
Okay. Wait a minute, is that the food crowd? Oh, no, it's that.
Oh my god, why do you look like that? And repeat, I
do not have any cameras on. I guess it's issues. Sorry about that. You look so cute. You can't just look so cute like that. Not in my eyes. Not like that.
I usually tell it. Something tells me you did not come to our village looking for a forest.
Hello, Spirit. I seek passage to the sacred mountain shrine.
And I seek passage to
Our village is bound to the shrines, with that power, they
Ooh. Who is this dude? Show you what's up.
Trapped spirits linger here, tangled in the tragedies of our past.
I'll show you something.
We must help these spirits with us to reach the mountain shrine.
It's okay. You have to go now.
with the speed.
Path of a spirit guide is a lonely one.
Let's go. Let's go. Okay. Let's go.
Now let's settle in for a stylish new look at Deathloop, a PS5 first-person shooter developed by the team at Arcane.
What?
You'll never ever break this loop.
There's no never here.
I was gonna say loop.
Me and the rest of these maniacs.
Breathe, baby.
This is Ramblin' Frank's matinee. This little ditty goes out to the handsome asshole trying to break our loop. Gold, the visionaries are ready to dance. Are you?
Sure.
Toxic illusion.
Toxic.
Falling deeper spiral. Static delusion. This is where we do or die.
Okay.
And I've been here before. Face to face with the gods. Up against all the odds. I'm the only one.
Oh no. Oh, brutal. Holy.
What to do when the bullet is the same, but the kill is always new.
Song's over, people, and so is Ramblin' Frank. The rest of you motherfuckers are next.
As I speak, there's no camera for now.
Before we leave, how about a huge update for one of 2020's most celebrated games?
Help me!
Now it's my turn.
A touching reunion.
Well, guys, your girl finally made it to Midgard.
Material Hunter and Elite Special Forces operative for the new Wutai government.
Okay,
will prove to our common enemy that Wutai is not to be trifled with. Members of Avalanche, we got this.
I'm back.
Ah, there you are. Someone's been expecting you. What took you?
Sorry about that. Anyway, it's nice to meet you. I still have Kasakame.
We lost him.
What?
He will be okay though, right?
Well, of course he will.
They're the ones who blew up the reactors. Cool. Should we say hi?
Yes. And goodbye.
Better not. After what they've done, you gotta assume Shima's on their tail.
Me. I'm so confident in shooting. Like right on tight. Is it on tight? Woo! 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 Okay. Oh, shoot. Okay. Oh, she got some hands. She's double team. Oh shoot. Okay. As I speak, there is no camera because my camera is messed up this time. Yeah, she's putting in that work. As you can see, she's putting it in. Okay, okay. She said, yeah. Let's go.
You guys should probably get moving.
Whatever
it is they're planning, you're better off out of it.
She said, I'm built this. Literally.
Yeah, they do. But I'm not your sister.
There you are.
Who are these kids?
Agent Melton? Sean Medicine? Stop that. Delete that. Ancient Roy.
Now, let the hunt begin.
Just PS5? Are you kidding me? Couldn't just put it. Just put it. I mean, it's still good. It's still good. Not bad, not bad, not bad. It looks small, but other you look better at the beat. I mean, I like the PS4 versions. They're not too overdue. I don't know. Yeah, something about it. I like how the fog is there, running. The fog effects. Okay. Oh, level. What is this? The lighting? I actually like the lighting. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, the PS4 looks better. I mean, my opinion. Okay. Quality of life? Alright. Show me what you got. Show me what you got. Okay. Loading times? We are watching the PlayStation State of Play of the games that could be played on PS4 and PS5 so far. There's some for PS4 and one PS5 just right now on my face, which I really want to play this game. Especially. Okay, Team Earth, let's go.
You see that?
No, I did not see that. Like, you went in the air.
Yep.
No. Try again. Delete that. Okay.
I want to play the remake. I want to play.
I'm playing on PlayStation 4 because I don't have a 5. I'm gonna keep my 4. Sorry.
That was the reveal of Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, coming to the PS5 console later this year.
Good, I'm getting the 4.
And that's our show.
That's
We
all.
hope you're as excited as we are for what's to come in 2021. See you next time.
That's all? Wait a minute. That's all? Are you... Hello? Hello? Is it on? Yeah. Oh, okay, that's what I thought. That's what I thought it was. It wasn't over. Let's go. Next console watch. Console watch. Let's go. Can't believe we finished that.
There you have it, the first PlayStation State of Play of the year. And here to break down everything we just saw is the first next-gen console watch of the week. I'm David Hatfield, and as always, I'm joined by host of our PlayStation podcast, Jonathan Dornbush.
You really threw me for a loop there, Damon. I did not know how you were going to introduce this episode.
I've got to keep you on your toes. And Ryan McCaffrey, host of IGN's Xbox podcast a month.
My camera's not working.
I'm having a little bit hard time hearing you as of right now, Ryan, but we'll see if we can get that fixed. Whether you're watching this live right now or if you're watching this when the show normally goes live on Friday mornings, we are going to react and break down everything we just saw from the State of Play, which seems to be mainly focused on smaller games, not too many bigger, large AAA games in there. There's going to be a PS5 version of Final Fantasy VII. We've got a little bit more of a look at Deathloop, which is coming out in just a couple months. The rest is a little bit smaller stuff, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But there wasn't anything about Horizon, Forbidden West, God of War, or even Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, which is coming up in a couple months. So, Jonathan, let's begin with you. What's your sort of takeaway from the State of Play, first State of Play in a long time? What was your first reaction?
Yeah, there's definitely a couple, I think, competing thoughts there for me about how little the first-party side of things was there, and we can get to that in a second. I will say I'm very glad the last 6 or so minutes of the State of Play was there, because honestly,
I'm gonna pause right there. So what do you guys think about it so far? Are you guys satisfied? Not satisfied? I mean, like, just no idea. Just I don't know. But I'm gonna continue this video.
The first 2/3 of it, it wasn't really connecting with me. I was definitely a little let down, I think, about the collection choice there. I think not even maybe pointing to some of those big games, even if they weren't going to be in here, pointing to some of the Ratchet and Clanks of the world may have not been the worst thing to do, to say, like, we'll be showing you some of those more soon. But in the meantime, here's a look at this, especially given we just saw Knockout City at the Nintendo Direct last week, and things of that nature. I think, Solar Ash, looks really great. That's from the Hyper Light Drifter developers. That looks really great. Opening with Crash was a little strange, given that we know it's coming to PS5 already. That was announced a week or two ago as well. But at least for me, in the end, Kena, Bridge of Spirits, Deathloop, bringing us basically a James Bond opening of its own, and ending on Final Fantasy VII Remake, coming to PS5 with a seemingly sizable chunk of new content in there that we can dive into. Definitely the latter bit of it really excited me, but man, the first 2/3 of this kind of made me feel the same way I felt about the Nintendo Direct last week, which was, I don't know if we quite needed this event.
Interesting. Ryan, I would love to get your take on the State of Play from a.
Well, what my take is, I might be copying most of the video games that has been shown. I'm definitely getting some of the games, probably like Deathloop, even those. I think you just know that whenever these games are coming out, I'm rest assured I'm getting it. There's no if, ands, and buts. I'm going to get it and play it, so you guys can watch me suffer and cry. Hopefully not miserable or anything like that. But that's fine. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Please like and subscribe. I will have a podcast coming out soon, maybe later tonight. If not tonight, tomorrow. Because of WandaVision episode 8 comes out like 10, 11-ish. So I'll be watching it and taking little notes and then, well, go on from there because I'm ready for the next episode. And, well, fuck it. I'm ready for it. That said, hope you guys like the video. Like and subscribe. Check out my next video. Until next time.